everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and today is another installment in the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine Inspiration series. You can see that I showed you a page from the magazine that I had torn out, and the inspiration was taking inspiration from cards and turning them into scrapbook layouts. So, real quick, I think in my first video for this series, I said it was going to be weekly. I think I changed my mind. I think it's going to be every other week. So every other Thursday, I'll have a new Scrapbook and Cards Today inspiration video to share with you. And I have so many pages from their magazines dog-eared that hopefully I will never run out of content for this series. So today I'm working with something from the summer issue, which I think is still out, or it was still out at the time of the recording of this video. They might have released the fall issue already. I'm not sure specifically when this will be posted and specifically when that issue will be out, but I got my issue from scrapbook.com. You can get it, sometimes it's a freebie, but it's definitely worth it to purchase as well because there's, like I said, so much inspiration in the magazine every time. There are 4 issues every year, so seasonal. And then also they showcase their own design team, but then they also showcase reader work. So they have calls for layouts and projects, and so you can submit your own stuff, and if they like it and they want to use it and they think it fits in with one of their themes, then they will showcase it, which is pretty cool. I have not had any of my stuff showcased, but I also haven't really submitted a whole lot, and that's okay. So I'm just letting you know that if that's something you want to do, it is possible with this magazine. Okay, so from the summer issue, they had a whole thing about taking inspiration from cards and turning it into layouts. So there was a card that Nina Marie Trampani did in the fall 2020 issue, and it was beautiful, basically rainbow strips as the background of the card. And then Lisa Dickinson, who is on the SCT design team, she took that idea and did a whole panel of rainbow patterned paper strips, rainbow colors going down one side of the layout, and then she used 2 photos kind of on the right-hand side of the page, kind of diagonally. I'm looking at it right now so that I can describe it to you a little bit better because I didn't keep it up in front of the, I didn't keep it up in the corner of this video like I do when I do sometimes like I do sometimes with sketches. Blah, 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 blah. So what you're watching me doing here is basically trying to do the same thing. I had, as you know, if you've watched the channel, if you are a subscriber and you've seen my how I'm using my paper scraps video, by the way, if you're not a subscriber, please click subscribe so that you don't miss out on this great series and any other process videos that I post. But I took all those paper scraps and found just anything that was like a rainbow color. I didn't know how many paper strips I was going to do because I hadn't quite measured it out yet. But I decided to make paper strips in, the same thickness. I think maybe they were maybe 1 inch by 6. It kind of looks like I'm trying to do there. Let's say it's 1 inch by 6 inch paper strips. So I'm just cutting a whole bunch of them, and then I will just put them together on the page when I am through. So I started with red and I ended with purples and indigos, because it's the color of the rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. You could do it differently though. You could add pink in it if you wanted to. No one's gonna know. Or you could just do one kind of purple. You don't have to have the 2. But yeah, Roy G. Biv is a normal color. So I'm kind of taking these paper strips and as you can see, I do have some pink in there under the red, so it's like a dark red to a magenta, or maybe that's more fuchsia. Maybe it's just hot pink. I don't know. To like a carnation pink. Then I've got 2 oranges. One's more of a bright orange. One's more of like a fall orange. There's 1 yellow. I didn't have that many yellows. And then 2 greens, a blue, more of like a kind of purpley blue, and then just a purple. And what I would have loved, but I didn't have, were pattern papers in these colors. So if you have pattern papers in these colors in your scrap drawer, that would be awesome to do with these. I went with all solid color papers just because that's what I had more of. You don't even have to do a rainbow. You could just do paper strips. And in the original layout, all of the strips were lined up very straight, very, very prim and proper in order. sometimes I don't really like doing that. So my paper strips are kind of like wonky, and they're kind of layered in different angles, and so that's that's more my thing. That's more my thing. And then you can also see that I did a hand-drawn border around the edges. I feel like you could also cut the cardstock down, and do like a border with a darker piece of paper, or you could even do some mixed media behind this. I just really felt like if I had the paper strips just on the white cardstock, it was going to be missing something. Even with the embellishments and the photos and all of that, it just was going to need something to kind of complete the look. And even in the original layout, there is a bit of I think it might be a paper border around the white cardstock. So that's why I did what I did and did the hand-drawn border, because I love doing hand-drawn borders, and I really feel like it does finish a page for me. So now I'm ever so carefully trying to adhere down my paper strips, so that I don't move them and mess them up. I have them placed, just the way I want them. And so to avoid having to pick them up and put the adhesive on the back, I'm just kind of taking the backing off of the double-sided adhesive square and just tucking it behind the paper so that nothing gets too messed up. And I have to say, that is a definite pro to using double-sided adhesive squares as opposed to an ATG or a tape runner, because I don't feel like you'd be able to get back there as easily with one of those bigger machines. So yeah, I like not having to lift things up and then try to be like, oh wait, where did I put these? So anyway, that's just my pro for the double-sided adhesive squares. Does it take a little bit longer because you have to peel the backing off? Well, of course it does, but whatever. I'm just sitting at my desk, either listening to music or watching other people's scrapbook videos. So like, whatever. I got all the time in the world. So now I've got to cut down my photos. So I have that white strip of paper, and in order to use it to back both photos, I need to cut them down just a bit. These are two photos. I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe you were watching. I don't know what size I cut them down to. But I trimmed them up just a little bit. They were originally maybe 3x4 size. I don't remember now. Anyway, I'm just full of helpful information, aren't I? So I trimmed them down just a little bit and then backed them with white cardstock. And I'm just putting them, flush on that strip, and then I'm going to cut them so that they're two individual photos, so that I can do kind of like have them at a diagonal and kind of layer them up. And these are two photos of my child, just random photos. So again, things that don't really have a story, so there's not going to be a whole lot of journaling, but I didn't have room for them in my Project Life monthly page, so here they are. And I really wanted to use those, that star paper, because it looks really cool. However, in order to get like the sizing right, it just wasn't right. The sizing wasn't right, and then having the white on the white, like you wouldn't have been able to see it. So I still have those star things in my stash. I will end up using them at some point for something, so stay tuned. That's another plug. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe so you can find out what I do with those star things. And here I am pulling different embellishments. Some of them are Pink Fresh Studio, some of them are Chamel, and I'm just trying to find things that match the colors of my rainbow. So we've got pinks and yellows and greens and blues and purples. Anything that fits the color scheme, even if it's not like a totally perfect fit. It has nothing to do with these photos, just anything that's the right color. So I'm also adding some Doodlebug little hearts, some Amy Tangerine stickers, and I'm just trying to, place things down just to see like where everything's going to fit, where it's all going to go. You can see that I have not taken any stickers off of the sheet. Everything still has its backing on it, because I tend to put things down and peel them up, and it's a lot easier to peel them up if they're not actually already stuck down. So you can move things around a lot easier. I speak English. And now I'm getting out some buttons. Buttons. I rarely use buttons, and yet I have 2 bags of buttons that I don't like do anything with. So I thought these buttons definitely have the right colors in here. They're different sizes. They have some different types of textures on them. So they're going to be really great for this as well. And I feel like I was going to say something else about the embellishments, how I don't, oh, so I don't stick them down. But, and here's another thing, and you might have seen this in the 10 fantastic tips video that I participated in with some wonderful other crafty people. If I remember, I'll try to link that below. When I have my embellishments, I like to cut each embellishment out individually. If it's like on a sticker sheet or something like that, or even like a chipboard, punch all the chipboards out and just put them in a little name tag holder. And then everything is much easier to say, oh, I have this sticker, I'll set it over here and see how it looks on the layout. And you're not like struggling with a big 12 by 12 sticker sheet trying to be like, well, how is this going to look? I guess I'll cut it out. Like, just cut everything out already and store it in a way that makes it a lot easier to find your stuff and to use your stuff. That's just my little extra bonus tip. And here's a bonus tip. If you want some splatter and you don't want to get it on your photos, don't put your photos down yet. So I stuck one down because I liked the placement of it. On the other one, I had put some foam squares behind it because I was going to pop it up a little bit on top of the other one for that layering. But I really wanted some splatters and I wanted them to show up behind the photos. So before I stuck the second one down, I just used it to cover up the first one and did the splattering. And I used the Mica Mist from Nuvo. And I am reaching for the color right now because I think it's Mica Mist in, it's really pretty, antique gold. It's kind of a darker gold. It dries really well and it looks really pretty. It adds some nice shimmer. And so now it's time to get everything stuck down for good. So you can see off camera, I stuck all the embellishments down. Now I'm just trying to like add a few extra bits and pieces here and there. Again, trying to stick with the color scheme. So I've got some shiny things on there. I'm looking for other things for the title. I really like those American Craft stickers letters. They have a really great font or type. Font and type. They're like two different things, right? Anyway. They have a really cool look, and they also had some fun little like star and heart stickers, and they're puffy foam, so they're really easy to work with. So I was adding a few of those in, and I'm going to use those to make my title. So the title words are not going to match the colors, you know, of where they are, and that's okay. They are going to stand out really well against the blue and purple down there, which is kind of a must-have. You want people to be able to read your title. And I did think about making Wonder be the title, but you know, I struggle. That's the problem that I have when embellishments have words on them. It's like, how many words are too many words, and where will people see, where will people's eyes be drawn to when they're looking for what is this page called? And you don't have to do titles on all of your scrapbook layouts. That's totally up to you. I like doing it. I like giving my pages titles, but then yeah, I do struggle a little bit because if there are other words on the page, especially like a big thing like Wonder, but anyway, I'm gonna get over it. So these are some American Crafts letter or phrase stickers, and I think they were part of the Amy Tangerine Brave and Bold collection. So I did manage to get the word so in blue. And then, and it still sticks out, so I didn't use the American Crafts ones. I lied to you. I forgot. But I like the way these look as well, and they still do pop. So there's So You in like a light blue, which is on top of the dark blue, and then more of a, I think it's like a pinky color. So it's pink on the purple. So again, not like a true match to where everything is rainbowy wise, but it works. And now I'm just going to add my journaling in with my little pen. It's a, what kind of pen? A Creative Memories fine tip pen. It's a really good pen. And then I'm just going to add a few more little bits and bobs because I've got rainbow colors on here. I have some Doodlebug rainbow stickers with clouds. I'm just going to stick those kind of around the photos. Again, the rainbow doesn't match like the colors, but it's rainbowy, so it does. And then I need some sequins, and I had this collection that had like clear sequins, basically translucent sequins. So I'm just going to add a couple of those down just to just for a little bit of extra kick, you know? I really like the way that they end up looking. They almost look like bubbles, actually. Maybe like cloud bubbles with the rainbow or something. So that is going to be pretty much it. I will have some close-ups following so that you can see this stuff in more detail, get a better look at the dimension and texture and whatnot. If you have any questions about products or techniques I've used on this layout, please leave those questions in the comments below. Connect with me on social media. All of those links are below too. I would love to connect with you more on the internet, and give this video a thumbs up like. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!